What's up, opportunity cost investors? Now, I was pretty busy this week, so over the weekend I was trying to catch up on all the YouTube finance videos that I was missing out on. And I came across the fact that the Graham Stephan Show actually summoned to fruition the YouTube algorithm. And with any hope that we can do the same, I decided to make a video on why we shouldn't use APY with savings accounts. And because of that, 1% might not always be equal to 1%. Because math. You go to a bank account website and look at their savings account, I can almost guarantee that what you see in big bold numbers is going to be the APY and not the APR. And the reason for this is because they want to promote the best rate that they can under the best circumstances to get you hook, line, and sinker. And the reason why you don't use APR is because APR doesn't account for compounding. This is similar to how credit cards show you their interest rates and not the ones that account for compounding. So that way they can promote what seems to be a better product. Most of the time we see APY and think nothing else of it. Because sometimes your APY is equal to your ROI. And because APY takes into account the consideration for compounding. However, you throw one small factor into that equation, like a fee, and all of a sudden your APY isn't your return on investment anymore. Instead, you're just left with a rate that means nothing to you. And to demonstrate, I'm going to show you guys a fun case study I did on my free time because I'm a nerd. And that is how leap years affect your bank accounts. Every fourth year is a leap year. Just like how every video we watch, we smash that like button for the YouTube algorithm. And in these leap years, the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau allows banks to decide whether they want to divvy up the interest rate on a 366-day basis or a 365-day basis. Which means by diving into the disclosure rates, we can find out which banks have your best interest in mind. Hey! The great news? You get a raise no matter what, because on a leap year you have an extra day to compound. But the question is, how much of a raise you got? And to figure that out, you're going to go to the bank's website and scroll all the way to the bottom where it says disclosure. If you can't find it, you might just call the bank or try their search bar for a document usually called something like truth in savings accounts or savings agreements and something of the like. Once you open up that document, you're going to want to do a search for compound or daily, and that'll usually jump you to where you need to go, which is like an interest segment. From there, you're going to look for the words daily balance method, and this is going to show you how it's compounded, whether it's a leap year or not. If it just says daily balance method, that means it's going to be 365 or 366 in leap year. If it says 365, then it's going to be 365 flat. And if it says it's compounded yearly at a 0% interest rate with fees, then you're probably banking at Wells Fargo. Zing! Now comes the really fun part, because I'm going to show you how you can calculate how much interest you're going to make in a month. So you take your interest rate and divide it by either 365 or 366, depending on what that truth and savings account told you. And you multiply that by your balance in one day. You do that for every single day in the month, and that's going to be the interest that's going to be credited to your account. And from there, you smash the like button for the YouTube algorithm. But in all seriousness, that's actually all you need to know. And this is how I figured out that Ally Bank, which right now is probably YouTube's favorite bank, has a 365-day basis and outperforms most 1% APY banks, such as American Express, Citizens, Chime, and PNC. And this is usually the moment where I dive right into Excel and show you the numbers. However, unfortunately, I can't this time. And the reason is that the results are so variable. If you were to start with a month that was 30 days versus one that was 31 days, then it would compound differently, and I can't give you a direct result. And because of this, I actually am led to the conclusion that there is a specific month where you get the most amount for your money when you open up a savings account. And that is actually the March, the year before a leap year. And here's the reason why. Naturally, if you had the choice between 31 days to compound or 28 days to compound, you would choose 31. Which means you want to put February at the very end, if you can. Which means if you were to open an account in March, it's going to be the most beneficial. Also, that means you want it to be a year before the leap year. So that way when you finally get around to February, it's going to have the max amount of days, which is 29. That means the best time to open up a savings account is the March before a leap year. And please don't take that as me saying, ugh, don't open an account unless it's the March before a leap year. Because obviously if you have all that time to compound, do it. I'm just saying, if it is the March between the leap year, it might not be a bad idea to look into it more than you would regularly. And it's actually, as a fun fact, a differentiation between real estate investors and stock investors. The fact that real estate investors love February because they're going to get rent no matter how many days are in the month, which is the shortest amount of days, whereas the stock investor is going to say there's less amount of days to compound. As a more stock-orientated investor, whose birthday's in February, I feel most conflicted. Now, take these concepts of savings accounts and try to calculate them. You might find that per $1,000, you might make a dollar difference with these decisions. However, you apply this concept to other realms of your investment strategy, and you might find that they're highly beneficial. For example, I'm going to show in future videos why credit union APYs, those high yield savings APYs, aren't actually what you think they are. And I can show you how to automate them so that way you can take the maximum amount of benefit out of tiered accounts. And when you save more money and you can save more time, you can use that to buy my book, which is in the description below. To wrap everything up, I would be careful using APY, and whenever you're investing your time and your money into anything, I would really look carefully into the disclosure and make sure you have all the details. But with that said, that's the end of this video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you found value at it, please consider liking and buying stock in that subscriber button. And while you're at it, might as well comment what your cost basis was for that subscriber count. And until next time, thanks for watching.